Hey there guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you a rank 1 clear on the Inugami Clash of Wills. So earlier today we did it with live stream, did it blind, and we got a rank 1 like in less than 45 minutes going totally blind. So this boss is overall not very complex. It is pretty bulky and you do need good damage to deal the damage cap, but as far as like mechanics and threat level, it's definitely a step back from last month. I'll probably talk more about this Clash of Wills in a different video, but for this one, we're going to get a guide in. So let's go ahead and do it. Now we're going to turn on all the modifiers, and this is the party we're going to be going with. Now, before you ask, you're going to say, what if I don't have Chow? I do think Chow is optional. I do plan to do more clears on this boss over time. It is day 1. So day 1, we're going to use the new unit. And then hopefully as the week goes on, I can try out some other team compositions. But this is the party we're going to go with. Gear will be at the end. Turn chart will be at the comments. And I'll try to explain a little bit step by step what's going on per turn. So during the ambush, the boss puts up some buffs on himself. Some of them are dispellable, some of them are not. And then also he paralyzes you, so make sure you're paralyzed immune. So on turn 1, the boss is going to do very high magical AoE damage, as well as a smaller AoE magic attack that bypasses cover. So your whole party needs a little bit of bulk to survive this on turn 1. Also, you need to hit the boss with either water or light, depending on what emote the boss uses. If the boss says channeling darkness, you have to hit him with the light element. If he says burning with rage, you gotta hit him with the water element. And never use any of the wrong elements. So don't use fire, ice, lightning, wind, or earth. If you use those, the boss will basically wipe your party. So make sure no one is using the wrong element. Darkness is okay. Darkness won't stop the boss's attacks. It also won't cause a counterattack. It's kind of neutral. Anyway, turn 1's going to hurt. So what we're going to do, we're going to use Chow to imbue all 3 elements. This is mostly for the morale gain. So we're going to imbue water, light, and dark. And we're going to do bar water jump. Now when we hit the boss, we're going to seal either water or light, depending on what the boss does. Doesn't really matter. Melissa will shared, chronic, and parasol. Parasol is nice for the beast mitigation. Elena is going to go ahead and we're going to omni cover on turn 1 because turn 1 really hurts. So we're going to omni cover. We're going to sanctuary for racial mitigation. That's fairy killer and our fairy mitigation, and we'll go ahead and Shelga for more mitigation. Kaito is going to start in the base form for auto morale. Go to the shift form. Then we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to put up his field. Sun Glitter, and then just double deep. Aya will use her big cooldowns on the base form, barrier, haste, etc. And then Rick in the shift form will do Radiant. That's going to dispel the boss's attack buff. And then Absolute and Bolting. And there we go. No more attack buff on the boss, or magic buff more specifically. The boss actually does no physical damage whatsoever. It's all magic. So the attack buff is kind of irrelevant. But here we go. So some damage on Elena, and with Omni Cover, it's totally fine. Also, the boss does status effects relatively often. As long as you're immune, you're okay. We're not having any kind of gookiness like last month. So we're going to go ahead and go for basically a water clear. So we're going to use Chow to put up the Leviathan field for us. Elena on this turn can just do her LB for the racial mitigations, general mit, etc. Kaito on this turn can just triple deep. You can chain all these if you want to, but honestly, we're not really worried about damage right now. We're going to go ahead and do heal with, what's her name? Aya Brea. That's going to fill the morale gauge. Rick will go to the base form, and we'll do just bolting and absolute. And then Melissa will do minutes and some killers. Again, this is just for the morale gain. We're not really worried about who we target. Okay, so turn 2, as long as you've done everything properly, will just be some water and dark damage that can be covered. So basically no big damage here. Now, if you did something wrong on the first turn, then you're going to get like counterattacks and all that, and it's going to be pretty painful. But if you do everything right, not a problem. So this turn, we're going to go ahead and have Elena. I'm sorry, first, we're going to use Chow. We're going to do his Ramping Water Amplify. We're going to be doing a Water Burst on turn 5. So Ramping Water Amp, then we're going to end Wartiga the party, then we're going to do Ocean, and then Fluffy. Okay, Kaito on this turn will refresh the field. We're going to field. We're then going to Natural and Deadly. After Chow, Elena will now imbue herself with Light Element. We got to seal light damage as well. So we're going to imbue with Light Element with Elena. Then we're going to put up cover, and we're going to hit the boss with light using Pollux' Blade. Ayabrea on this turn can put up a Necrosis, so the turn 5 heal will deal less, and then double heal for the morale gain. Richt on this turn, after Chow, will do Luminous to imbue himself with light, and then Bolting and Absolute. And we're going to use the SLB of Melissa, and we're going to target Elena with this. Okay. So this turn is a really powerful single target attack that's going to deal a ton of damage to your magic tank. Elena should survive it. If not, she'll guts it. So she's got 63,000 HP, 54,000, we're fine. Okay, so we're going to get ready for bursting next turn, but we're not doing it quite yet. So Chow is going to autocast a lot. Chow is going to now go ahead and quadcast. We're going to do Arcane Supplementation. We're going to do Beast Killer on Richt. We're going to do Bar Wartiga. And last action, we're going to do Malediction of Water. Elena is going to do Bolting, Absolute, and then Curaga to get a little bit of healing because she took a big hit. Kaito is going to go to the base form, where he's going to do his Magnus. We're going to do Downpour for the AoE Fairy Killer, and then Bolting to seal the boss. He's using a light element in the base form. Ayabrea can shift here. Let's see. And then Richt can do 180 amp, Leading Legend, and Light Within. Ayabrea can do, let's see, Awakened and Double Bolting. And again, I could have been chaining these for a little bit of damage. I probably should have. Whoops. Oh well. We're going to refresh Shared on Melissa. We're going to do Beast Killer on Aya. And we're going to do Curaga so that we don't lose our squishy tank. Okay. So this turn is going to again be an attack that bypasses cover. But now that morale is maxed out, we've got lots of mitigations up. Melissa's mitigation, etc. Racial mitigations. It should be fine. Yeah, as you can see, not a big deal. It does hurt Elena pretty hard, but we're fine. Now it is time to deal our damage cap. This is not going to push the threshold, but it will deal the damage cap, at least hopefully, depending on your variance. But, you know, we should. Okay, so Kaito's going to go to the shift form and do his shifted LB. Elena is going to do her base form LB. Chow is going to do his SLB. Aya shifted LB. Richt base form LB. We're not going to use Melissa yet. So we're going to chain Kaito and Elena first to build the chain. We're going to wait just a second, and then we're going to chain the other ones. So send them, wait just a second, then send these. That'll be our 100 count chain score, and hopefully a 5 billion damage cap. Oh, we definitely did. Okay, so now Melissa, after all that, is going to triple bar Darkja to fill LB gauge, because we're going to burst again immediately. So here we go. Now, hopefully, Elena doesn't die here. It's going to be relatively painful this turn, because I'm not using full resistance. 5.5, we did the damage cap. There we go. So some elemental damage this turn. It shouldn't kill Elena. Oh, actually, we're not even imperiled. We're totally fine. Okay, so now we are going to push that threshold now. So we're going to use Melissa to either triple bar Darkja if you need it. It looks like we only need 2, so we're going to do that, and we're going to do a Beast Killer on... Who got it last? We got Beast Killer on Aya, so this turn... Let's go ahead and do it on Chow. Okay, so our LB is good to go again. So we're going to burst yet again. So Rick's going to LB... Ayabrea's going to shift the LB, but we're not going to burst yet, though. Chow's going to LB. Elena's going to LB, but notice the boss has buffs, so Kaito is going to handle that. Kaito will Crashing Waves. Let's see, Crashing Waves, Natural, and Deadly. So we're going to click Kaito first, wait just a moment, then we're going to click the rest. So Kaito, wait just a sec, then click the rest after the buffs are gone. And there we go. Threshold handled. Perfect. 6% more than we needed. We're good. This is the threshold. The threshold overrides the boss's turn, and he gets undispellable buffs this turn. No problem. Now, turn 7. We're now going to SLB Melissa onto Chow. SLB onto Chow. That's going to reduce his cooldowns so we can do all this cool stuff again. So now Chow is going to get ready for bursting again. We're going to end Wardaga at the party. We're going to Oceans, Fluffy, and we're going to Shine to deal light damage to the boss. We got to deal light damage. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to use Elena to, on this turn, we're going to imbue herself, cover, and Shelga. Notice she's not having a free moment to hit the boss with light. Let's see. Kaito's going to get rid of the boss's buffs. With Unpredictable, we're going to refresh the field and refresh Downpour. And there's the boss's buffs gone. Aya Brea will triple bolting. I'm sorry, she will awaken and double bolting. And Richt will end the shift form. We're going to Radiant so that we auto-dispel in the future. Radiant and then double bolting. You can also Absolute if you want to. It doesn't really matter. We do need the stat buff at this point. Let's go ahead and do the stat buff. And chain these two up for a little bit of bonus damage here. Okay, that's fine. So turn 7 is going to be a gravity attack. It's going to deal a ton of damage, but it will not kill anyone on this turn. It's also a healing reduction. Keep that in mind. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and burst again now. Now, unfortunately, people are not really filled on their LB. Richt is ready to go. We're going to do the shifted LB with Richt for the Sword in Peril. Aya is going to do the shifted LB. Kaito is going to do the shifted LB. Chow is unfortunately not ready. That's fine. So Melissa can use seconds on Chow to fill him up. Then we can do minutes of might, and we can do parasol. So at this point, you're going to gauge what you really need. Let's go ahead and 1 second, we're going to heal. We don't need any more LB gauge. So what we're going to do, we're going to use Elena to hit the boss with light element. We're going to heal, and I guess we'll heal a second time so she doesn't get herself killed. And for absolute safety, we'll go ahead and Remedial Will to cure the debuffs, and we'll also Resurging Will to heal up Elena, just to make sure we're safe. And then Chow can do his LB. So, let's see. We're going to send Richt a little bit later because he's using Bolting Strike, which is slightly slower. And there we go. Little bit of damage right here. Okay, not bad. So this turn is going to be not super painful, but a little bit of damage on Elena, I think. Oh, actually, no, it won't, because we did, we cured the Imperils, didn't we? Okay, so there you go. The burning with rage and all that. Got to hit the boss with the right element. It's not a problem. So turn 9. What are we going to do? We're going to SLB. Let's see. So we're going to LBU. We're going to SLB our Chow. We are going to use Kaito to Downpour, Deadly, and Natural to get all those debuffs back up. Aya is going to triple bolting. Richt will triple bolting. And Melissa is going to shared immunity, Bar, Darkja, and Beast Killer on Chow. I'm pretty sure this turn is not a damage turn, so I think we're going to be okay here. Now give me just a second. I don't want to break the game with clicking the morale bar while skills are going off. Just for safe, let's go ahead and do the defense spear buff as well. Anyway, deal some damage. Okay, not bad. So 7, 8, 9. Actually, this turn is going to be a single target attack. Now, this one may, again, kill Elena, but she will guts it. So it did 51,000, but I think she gutsed it. Yeah, she had 47,000. Or she shielded it. It doesn't matter. She wouldn't have died in the first place. Okay, so now we're going to SLB Melissa and hit it onto Chow. So SLB Melissa, go to Chow. This turn is going to be gravity damage again. So Elena is going to seal the boss. We're going to cover. We're going to Bolting and Absolute. Kaito is going to... This turn, he's going to Limit Burst. It's not available. Unfortunate. Oh, never mind. Hold on. We're gonna be fine. So let's go ahead and Arcane. Let's end Wartiga again. Let's Ocean and Fluffy. It looks like we're not going to be able to do Kaito's Limit Burst. That is very unfortunate. Which means we're going to instead do Extreme Nova on Rick. We got to do her LB. And then Kaito, big sad that your LB is not ready. I didn't realize that, or I would have done stuff differently with other people. Oh well. So in that case, Kaito will just... Natural, Deadly, and Deep. Yeah, it feels bad that Kaito's LB wasn't ready. That means we couldn't do Rick's LB with it. Oh, it's not going to matter. We're going to kill him next turn. Yeah, so the crystal drops are a little bit RNG-ish. So there's the gravity attack, and now we're going to kill the boss. No big deal. So on this turn, we're going to use Elena to just triple bolting. I'm sorry, not triple bolting. Triple bar Blazaja to fill LB gauge. And again, just gauge it. If you need to triple bar Darkja with Melissa, then do it. It looks like two bar Darkjas should be enough for Aya. So we're going to bar Darkja twice to fill LB gauge, and we'll just do Beast Killer on Aya Brea. And there it is. We're going to use the base form LB of Rick. We're going to do the shifted LB of Kaito, the LB of Chao, and then the shifted LB of Yu. We have supplementations. We don't need the morale gauge. And there is our rank 1 perfect score. 11 turns. Could have been 10 turns if we had gotten the LB gauge properly on Kaito, but whatever. It's done. There it is. Morale is maxed out, so relatively simple. You do need a high damage potential to hit the 5 billion damage score. It's a little bit tricky. I think without Chao, we're going to be okay, but there it is. So, as you saw, the boss doesn't really do very much. Aya Brea really carrying the fight here because her damage is super, super high with the imbues and all. Unfortunately, Rick, he missed an LB, so he missed about 1.5 billion damage one turn. Chao, it's pretty good. You know, mine's only EX2. And then Kaito with his buffs. Hey, 1.2 billion. It contributed. It contributed. And then Elena was just a tank here. So let me show you the team. Oh, look at this. Look at this. We are rocking it out. Give me that second tick, and I'm almost done farming. Okay. So let's go ahead and show the teams and the gear and all. Okay, so the Espers aren't super important. We do have Aya Brea on Ifrit for Beast Overkiller. It's optional. The other ones are Reaper and Spirit. I don't think Global has Overkillers for those yet. So here we go. Here's the team. We are provoking, passive provoke with Melissa. We don't need any evasion. And she's using very high water and dark resist. You don't need this much, but water and dark resist does help. Just in case. High spirit, you know, mana reduction, etc. There it is. You know, the morale on this clear is very, very easy. So you don't need a lot of morale generation. Ricked in both forms, geared identical. 18,000 attack power. And we're using Elena's leader skill, by the way. Maxed on all the killers. Oh, and the whole party needs to be paralyzed and confusion immune. Because you need that plus a buff, and you'll be immune to all the bad stuff. So there you go. He was maxed on everything. Also, the whole party wants a moderate amount of bulk or spirit and HP, because a few of the attacks do bypass cover. Aya Brea, in the base form, a lot of morale gen, Celestite Rod, mana refill, Esper fill, etc. But shift form is where the damage is at. So 17,000 maxed on all killers. We're not using any Clash of Wills gear on her. It's kind of funny. She did by far the highest damage with no Clash of Wills gear whatsoever. Aya Brea is really good, and she's not even on element. It's like amazing. I love Aya Brea. So good. So good. And literally all she did was damage. We didn't even use her support kit. Well, I guess we used the healing down one turn. But, yeah, just a damage dealer. And she's really good at it. Kaito, in the base form, is using a holy weapon. Other than that, some, you know, auto morale, etc. Shift form is maxed on everything, status immune, etc. There it is, a little bit of bulk, and we're using the fashion card just for the undead killer. Helps out a little bit, maxed on everything. Elena in the base form is using 310 water and dark resist. That way, with the buff from Melissa, we're at 380. So we're only at 20 or 80% resist. That gives us more chances to counter for the healing. If you want absolute safety, gear her to a total of 400% water and dark after buffs. But I wanted her slightly vulnerable just for the counterattack chance. And there's the setup we used. And shift form, we never used it, so really who cares? And then Chow is maxed on everything, 17.9. There we go. Gear is very, very easy for this. Okay. Turn chart will be in the comments. You might have to fluctuate a little bit from the turn chart depending on your crystal drops. Just hopefully you get a lot of crystals. And again, change the actions if you need more LB fill. If you're short on crystals, have like Melissa skip a killer and do another bar Darkja. Have Elena skip something and do another bar Blizzasia to fill LB gauge. Okay, hope it helps. See you in a bit.